After a full day of exploring the Isle of Skye, we made our way to the island's northeast tip and found a quiet spot to camp, tucked just off a country road. The road was silent and we were completely alone. We arrived just in time for sunset, hoping to wind down after a busy day with a campfire. Luckily, someone had already used the spot before, and we made use of the existing fire pit. The sunset was stunning that evening, and the stillness of the place made it feel like the perfect way to end the day, with thoughts starting to turn to tomorrow's plans. Overhead, the moon rose bright under a cloudless sky. Once the fire was lit, we could finally sit back and relax. The night was cold, but the fire gave us enough warmth to unwind.
So maybe we just bought bad wood.
Oh, you know what they say, there's nothing worse than bad wood.
This is very cute, isn't it, though?
Yeah. Stop making eye contact.
The next morning, I woke up early. It was a fresh start to a new day. The weather was brisk, and we had a few things on our list to see today. It was going to be busy and we were excited, but before we can get on with anything, I had tea to make. Our campsite was just as picturesque in the morning as it was at sunset. And as I enjoyed my morning tea, I took a moment to appreciate exactly where I was. We were on the famous Isle of Skye, and I just spent the night at a beautiful seaside location, overlooking the water. We had the entire place to ourselves. We had our tent and our car, and the freedom to go wherever we wanted. Our plan today was to go and see a nearby beach, before going to see a magical glen. We had all the time we needed, and we're excited to get going. Our destination was a coral beach, a stretch of white sand and turquoise water. In summer, it's meant to feel almost tropical. It offered pleasant views, and aside from the few groups of people, it felt mostly isolated. The beach's centerpiece was its large rock outcrop. It looked almost like a natural watchtower. We didn't have a specific plan for coming here, and we weren't sure what we'd find other than the beach. But in this instance, that was part of the joy of coming here. We wandered a bit, taking it slow. There wasn't much to do, and that was kind of the point. We took time to rest and observe the little things. Sometimes it's enough just to be somewhere new, breathing in the sea air. Next, we went to the vantage point. It was a great experience being up high, looking down on the turquoise waters. Although I usually enjoy cold water swims, this morning didn't feel like the right time for it. Instead, we just sat peacefully, embracing the view and chatting away. Eventually, though, it came time to leave, and we began making our way back to the car. Our next stop was to stop off in town for brunch, and then head to the Fairy Glen. This is the Fairy Glen. We didn't know what to expect, At first, it looked like a winding path through grassy mounds, but as we walked, rocky outcrops started to appear in the distance. We continued on at a leisurely pace. With no route set, we just followed the paths unfolding in front of us. We passed sheep grazing. The mounds grew steeper and almost appeared more jagged.
I'd try.
We continued meandering upwards, following the paths around the steep slopes. It was here that we saw our main destination, up close. At the top, the rock formations stood above us, tall and weathered. It felt like something out of a fantasy, almost like Weathertop from The Lord of the Rings. We ventured forward. We continued up the slope, passing through a set of stone gates. At the very top, we came into Quiraing, scattered with rock circles. We observed a jumble of various rock patterns before us. After a moment, taking in the view, we started the climb to the main rock tower. The route was narrow and crowded. And at this point, the wind was beginning to pick up again. With a collection of people gathered on top, we had to wait for it to clear. We took a small moment for a break and to appreciate the views. The pass was tight, with drops on either side. We squeezed through a narrow gap to reach the top. It was difficult climbing in, especially with the camera. It was a bit of a tight squeeze, but nothing too difficult. But then I made it. With Hayden following shortly after me. From here, we could see the entire landscape. As well as the opening immediately below us. The mounds, the paths, and the stone circles, all clearly laid out. Despite only just arriving though, it was now time to return, as we still needed to find somewhere to make camp. Having taken in the view and completed our main destination, we decided to descend. Yet again, it was a tight squeeze.
Scottish history.
Soon after, we began heading back, this time taking an alternative route through the maze of hillocks and trails. Our next step was to set up camp, and for that we'd be heading to the Quiraing.